Let's talk about season 3, some of the changes that they're putting through. But specifically, we're going to be talking about Mercy changes. They're replacing Mercy's regeneration passive with a more interesting interaction, was something they wanted to do with all support heroes after they gained the similar regeneration version through the role passive. For the Caduceus staff change, this will empower Mercy even more as a triage healer, meaning healing people when they really need it, and enabling her to more often save low health allies. The overall time it takes to fully heal a 200 health hero from 1 HP is about the same as before. For Guardian Angel, the cooldown increase is necessary to reduce the greatly increased mobility resulting from the recent rework to the jump cancel. It enabled Mercy to quickly launch herself long distances in any direction and be overly evasive for such a short downtime. So, yeah, their reasoning makes sense here for the cooldown increase, but this also just sucks. This just sucks in general. This is just a bad change for Guardian Angel. But considering Overwatch 1, and they had the Mercy Super Jump back then, this is probably the cooldown that it should have been on back then. And now that they've made the Super Jump official in the game, easier to do, less skillful, built into Mercy's kit, and now they're increasing the cooldown for it because it was too strong, because it was always too strong, makes sense. But I have a question. So, holding the backwards directional output and canceling the ability to jump now moves 20% slower. That's great. I do feel like it was a little bit dumb that Mercy could always just fly forward and then immediately back away, and then just fly forward and immediately back away, just, slingshot herself continually. But this cooldown increase from 1.5 to 2.5 seconds, why don't you keep this cooldown as a 1 second, and then when you Guardian Angel, it puts it on a 1 second cooldown. But if you cancel it using jump, using the super jump tech that they've built in, then it adds another second onto it. Then you have both the super jump tech in there that you can do, but will have a longer cooldown, but then you also have the normal Guardian Angel, which isn't so extremely filthy to use, because it takes so long for the cooldown to come back. And it allows you to keep up with your teammates easier, etc, etc, etc. Okay, healing per second reduced from 55 to 45. 45 is not enough. We've been through this before. 45 is a garbage number. You get to just stand there and watch your teammate die to Winston, which, is fine. Healing is increased by 50% for allies under half health. So what happens is that the Winston takes the soldier all the way down to 100 HP, and then the soldier can just stand there, because Mercy deals 67.5 healing per second once he goes under 100. If you get them down to 100 HP, you can keep them there, but that's it. You'll never be able to put them lower than that, because this healing is just too good. 67.5 when under half. Regeneration passive removed. That was the goal of this rework. Mercy heals herself for 25% of healing done with Caduceus staff. I can see how this passive makes sense with this change, since this change allows her to heal herself more when allies under her half, so she's encouraged to heal herself more by healing allies who are hurt more. Okay, what does this do? What is the point of this rework? Is the point of the rework just to give her a new passive ability? Or is this trying to remove the playstyle of Pocket Healer? Okay, because there's a way better way to rework Mercy so she's more fun, more playable, discourages less fun playstyles, and is overall just better feeling for the players to play. Because Pocket Mercy sucks. It's unfun. It's unfun to stand around a wall and just blue beam your Widowmaker who's just shooting through a choke point or whatever, shooting through a window at enemies, just over and over, and you're just sitting there, just blue beaming for like 2 minutes, under no threat, and you don't need to go heal your other tank or your other players because of the amount of pressure created by the DPS that you're pocketing, or because you're just a jerk, and you just don't want to heal anybody else, which is entirely possible. But that's the playstyle that um, Mercy was developed towards. That that was the playstyle encouraged by the way that they designed the hero. She's designed to be a pocket healer, which is unfun and also amplifies the problem of blue beam being in the game, because Mercy is under no threat and also is creating so much space and danger through her damage boosting of whatever DPS she's damage boosting. It's kind of insane. The more fun playstyle of Mercy is called Dinner Dash Mercy. And it's group healing. It's rushing from one ally to another ally and healing them when they need it, and then quickly going to another person and healing them. And at the end of the game, everyone is like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for pocketing me, Mercy. Everyone on your team feels like you paid special attention to them as opposed to the other teammates, even though you paid equal attention. You made everyone feel pocketed. That is the fun style of Mercy. That is what is fun about Mercy. It's flying around, healing everyone, and making sure nobody dies, stuff like that. Not sitting, crouching around a corner and blue beaming someone for 2 minutes, waiting for them to get a kill, or waiting for your team to push in, or whatever it is. Does this fix that? Well, the cooldown on Guardian Angels certainly negatively affects the Pharah and Echo pocketing, which is okay for consoles. The healing per second reduce is pretty bad. This is like really bad. This is extremely bad change right here. Why? Because you can never kill someone without burst damage, which is fine for Soldier, I guess, because he has Helix Rocket, but Helix Rocket only does... It deals 120 on a direct hit. It deals 80 splash, 40 to self-right, it doesn't matter. We're talking about the damage. So it's 120 if you hit them directly. So, because Soldier is constant damage, basically, he's damage over time. You have to save your Helix Rocket until you get them to half health, and then you can kill them. Which is fine, because it deals 120 damage or whatever. But Winston can never kill anyone that Mercy is pocketing. I don't know if he can even kill the Mercy, because his Tesla cannon is designed to hit multiple heroes at once, and if he's hitting the person that she's pocketing as well as hitting her, she'll just heal more because she's healing the person because of her new passive, which is interesting. Doomfist can never kill someone with a regular punch because it does 80 damage, hit, and wall slam, and Mercy can just heal through that, so he'll never kill anyone without empowered punch. And in fact, he will never be able to kill anyone with empowered punch if he uses it while they're at full health and doesn't get the Mercy. And so you get empowered punch, you punch the soldier she's pocketing, you don't hit her, soldier takes 120 damage, he's stunned for 0.75 seconds. You can pump your 2 primary fires into him and he just won't die because she does 67.5%. She does 67.5 healing per second. Okay, but okay, so if we're just doing this for this passive, that's fine. If we're doing this because of her passive, right? To make her new passive impactful and meaningful for Mercy herself. This is garbage. This should be changed back. Maybe do what I said. This is fine. Holding backwards makes her slower, because rubber banding was kind of dumb that it was in the game anyways. But maybe cooldown increase from 1.5 to 2.5 when after she uses super jump. So once she uses super jump with Guardian Angel, then a second is added on to it. If she doesn't use super jump, then the ability was balanced beforehand. That's why this number has never changed in the history of Overwatch. But now that we've added super jump to be non-skillful and to be a natural part of Mercy's kit, it's overpowered. Because it always was overpowered for a 1.5 second cooldown. So now that it's part of her kit, just add on an additional second when you use that super jump. So then you have a choice of whether or not you want to use super jump, or you may want to fly to another hero afterwards. Yeah, this is dumb. What I would do is to discourage pocketing healing. I would make the Caduceus staff be less effective the longer it's on, just period. So it's at 30%, I would lower it, damage boost is 30%, I would lower it to 10% over 3 seconds maybe. And then the longer you aren't damage boosting, it ramps back up to 30%. And the same thing for the healing. So the healing is, I would probably make it like 70 healing for probably not 3 seconds, but probably like 1 second. 3 seconds kind of sounds too long. And then I would make it from 70 down to 35, because 35 doubled is 70. And so you have to not heal to get more burst healing, and you have to not damage boost to get more burst damage for when you swap back to it. So you can't stay on somebody and keep damage boosting them. That kind of doesn't fix the pocket problem, though, does it? You would have to make it to where not while Caduceus staff is on, but you have to make it for as long as Caduceus staff is on the same player. Well, that's kind of like technical to do, because then you would have to keep a value for every single character that she has healed, or value for every teammate, to find out how much healing she should be doing at that moment. That seems a little technical, but that's the way it should be done. The longer she stays with one person, the less healing and the less damage boost she does. And then when she moves on to someone else, she gets boosted back up to 70, and then back up to 30% damage boost, until she moves away to someone else. So she's encouraged to dinner dash the whole time. And by pocketing, you are actively decreasing the amount of healing you're doing, and you're decreasing the amount of damage that you're boosting. That's how I would change Mercy.